6:30, which means I come out with this week's power rankings, the power rankings, top 5 teams in the NFL going into week 8. So, we do have an honorable mention. I want to throw it out there. I'm going to put it out there for the guys back in Vegas East. Cam Pratt, Pat Costello, our resident Eagles fans. I'm going to put it out there. The Philadelphia Eagles are honorable mention this week for my power ranking.
Which means they're not in the power rankings.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, 300-yard passing day, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith going off. I'm going to put some respect on the Eagles' name, but I don't feel like I can trust them enough to put them in my top 5 right now.
The 5-2 defending world champions coming off a win?
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I respect it.
The 2 previous losses.
That Giants loss was awful.
The 2 previous losses, I don't know.
Okay.
It kind of jaded me a little bit. I'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of time for your objections and your omissions. So, Pat Costello, if you will.
Number 5.
The Los Angeles Rams. 5 touchdowns and no picks for Stafford on Sunday against the Jags. No turnovers without Puka Nacua. He leads the league in touchdown passes with 17 to only 2 picks. Defensively, Byron Young leads the NFL in sacks. Their front leads the league in quarterback knockdowns. They're second in sacks, and they're second in points allowed. If I'm nitpicking, the running game leaves something to be desired. In situational football on offense, third down, red zone, goal to go, needs to improve. But on the whole, the LA Rams, they are who we thought they were. One of the teams that's going to be in the mix when it's all said and done in the NFC. LA Rams checking in at number 5.
I'm interested to see if the 2 teams who are technically above them in the standings in the NFC West will make it onto this list.
Okay.
I think the Rams, I will continue to say, are hiding in plain sight. They won a Super Bowl with the same coach and quarterback a few years ago. They're in Los Angeles, California. They're on ESPN LA. They're hyped up like crazy. And yet we don't talk about them enough as why can't they do this? Why can't they win it all again? We always talk about the 2 things, coach, quarterback. Who's complaining about that if that guy is healthy? And everyone has said to me, I've talked to people about this that cover the Rams. They said the whole McVay retirement thing, that was a thing. Not anymore. Don't even think about that anymore. Now, again,
don't even think about it.
$20 million could be thrown in front of him for a broadcasting gig.
That'll do it.
And then he'll start to think about it.
That'll do it. Next.
Number 4.
Seattle Seahawks.
There we go.
Seahawks defense is top tier. They got 3 stops on 4th down last night in their win against the Houston Texans. They pressured C.J. Stroud on 20 dropbacks, and now they have 106 pressures on the season, which is tied for the Denver Broncos for most in the NFL. The Seahawks are also the number 1 rush defense in the league. Couple that with an offense that leads the league in explosive plays and a quarterback that's top 5 in passer rating. Also, it's worth noting that JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, leads the league in receiving by almost 200 yards.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
He accounts for 46% of Seattle's passing yards, which is the highest rate in the NFL. And Darnold has a 96.6 QBR when targeting him. So probably a good idea to throw the ball in number 11. He dunks on everybody. Literally did it last night in the end zone. Add it all up, and you have the makings of a team that can win the most competitive division in all of football.
I'm so glad you brought that up about JSN because I saw that stat this morning as well, and I shockingly was thinking we're not talking enough about how dominant he's been so far this season.
We're not talking enough about it, but they're going to be talked about in my power rankings. Let's go. Next.
Number 3.
Detroit Lions, 3-1-3, stand up. 12 straight wins following a loss. Stayed more in character this week against the Bucs as opposed to what we saw in Arrowhead. They ran the offense through Jahmyr Gibbs, got the ball to St. Brown early. Defensively, they played way more man coverage, which is what they typically do, stayed out of those zones. That secondary challenged the Tampa receivers in the pass rush, led by Hutch, teed off. That was a culture win for Detroit. It's how they want to play. It's how they want to win. The quarterback has to clean up some of the mistakes, too many turnovers and empty possessions in plus territory, 3 to be exact. But on the whole, a lot to like about how the Detroit Lions dismantled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Detroit Lions checking in at number 3 on my power ranking.
I am fascinated to know 1 and 2 because the Detroit Lions are not currently technically a first-place team. The team that is in first place, Michelle's Green Bay Packers, beat the Lions, yet I don't know anyone that thinks the Lions aren't better than the Packers right now. This is weird, so let's see what happens with 2 and 1 here.
Well, these are power rankings, not standings. Next.
Number 2.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Smalls.
There they are.
They're back.
They're a third place team by the standings thing.
They're back. They may have never left. They dominated the Las Vegas Raiders 31-0 in a game where the defense allowed 3 first downs and held Vegas to 30 total plays. Offensively, Rashee Rice's return somehow feels understated based on how transformative his presence was on the field. Double-digit targets, multiple touchdowns, but more importantly, it was the overall flow of the passing game being better. Kansas City had 30 first downs, 16 of which came through the air. And then, oh, by the way, Mahomes accounted for over 300 total yards and logged back-to-back games with 3 passing touchdowns and no picks for the first time since 2020. Kansas City Chiefs checking in second on my power rankings.
So annoying. I know where you're going to go for number 1, and you had to, but I'm curious if there was the thought of putting the Chiefs 1.
No.
Okay.
No thought about it at all. You ready, Evan Cohen?
Yeah, I'm very
You look
flabbergasted by
distraught.
who's left off of this list.
There's a lot of teams left off.
Distraught. Okay, well, it's going to lead to some healthy conversation here. But there can only be one number 1.
Number 1.
The Indianapolis Colts! Let's go! Teddy Bruschi, do you believe in the Colts now? Teddy Bruschi, do you believe in the Colts now? The best offense in the NFL on Sunday against the Chargers. They scored on 6 of their first 7 possessions and only settled for a field goal once. Indy scores on 63.5% of their drives, which is the best mark in the NFL by far. Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing, and the defense is top 5 in pressures and takeaways. They're physical, they're smart, they're connected. The sum is greater than the individual parts. It is a quintessential team. They could stand to add a little more pass rush at the deadline, but overall, this is a group that is more than capable of beating anyone in the playoffs, especially if said playoff game is at the drum. The Indianapolis Colts, top dogs in my Week 8 power rankings. So there is the list, the Canty power rankings for Week 8 of the National Football League. The Indianapolis Colts, number 1. Kansas City Chiefs, number 2. Detroit Lions, number 3. Seattle Seahawks, number 4. Los Angeles Rams, number 5. Smalls, you are my accountability partner. Any objections, any omissions?
There's a lot of teams left off this list, CC, that you can make an argument for, but what about the 5-2 San Francisco 49ers?
You believe in the 49ers?
They're winning games. They're finding ways to win.
But you didn't answer my question. Do you believe in the San Francisco 49ers?
I do not.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So why did you
But they have a great argument to be on the list.
What about the Bucks? They lost. I mean, last night they lost. The Bucks are pretty damn good.
Last night they lost, and on top of that, they have to deal with a significant injury.
This is a
Eagles,
wild
the
one.
Packers were left off the list.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd sneak the Patriots in there.
They got consideration.
I was gonna say, I understand why you would go with the Rams, but
I'm cautiously optimistic about Drake May and Mike Vrabel, what they building up there in Foxborough, but they didn't make the cut this week.
sitting there atop the division,
I
the game
know,
over
but
the
the 5
Bills.
touchdown passes from Matt Stafford were undeniable.
Okay.
Like without Puka Nacua, being able to go to work with Devontae Adams, all those tight ends, Matt Stafford completed passes to 10 different receivers on Sunday.
Yeah.
It is insane. And listen, if his back holds up, the Los Angeles Chargers are going on a deep playoff.
Rams.
I mean, Los Angeles Rams, not the Chargers. Chargers might not even make the playoffs.
888 say ESPN. 888-729.
They're going to go on a deep playoff. run, and Stafford's back can
3776.
hold up.
Let's do this. Put 1 on, 1 off of CC's power rankings, right? 1 on, 1 off. You're not going to redo the whole thing. He has Indy 1, Kansas City 2, Lions 3, Seahawks 4, Rams 5. My 1 on, 1 off, I'd put the Eagles on, and I'd put the Seahawks off. I know how well the Seahawks are playing, but that's mine. That's my 1 on, 1 off. Small.
So you make it sound like you hate my list.
I don't love it this week. I don't love it.
He doesn't love
I'm not in
it.
love with it. Don't love it. I love other ones better.
Wow.
The Eagles are back on track. The Bucks
They're
lost
not back
one
on track.
game.
They can't run the ball.
They don't need to if they're going to throw like that.
So they don't. The Philadelphia.
This is an in the moment.
You're saying that the Philadelphia Eagles can get back to the Super Bowl if they can't run the ball.
That's not what I said. This is an in the moment power ranking.
Am I speaking English?
I'm hearing you.
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand the words coming out of your mouth. I got
you understand the words coming. You're saying that it doesn't matter that they can't
That's
run the
not
ball.
what I'm
You
saying.
just said that.
Hold
This
on.
is an in-the-moment
Let me
power
decipher.
ranking.
Let me decipher here. You're saying because they won the game and the passing attack got going, Jalen Hurts looked really good, that we should acknowledge as the defending Super Bowl champs that are still atop the division that they deserve to be on the power rankings.
That's right.
Beating a backup quarterback in Minnesota is more noteworthy than the back-to-back losses that they had to the Broncos and the Giants.
Yep, for me. By the way, you don't have the Broncos on there. You don't have the Eagles on there. You don't have the Bucks on there. You don't have the Bills on there, who I know are not a first-place team, but blind faith in them coming off of a
So
bye.
does that make it worse or better that the Eagles lost to two teams that are not on my power ranking?
Well, I think you could make the argument the Broncos deserve to be in there. 1 on, 1 off of CC's power rankings. Indy 1, KC 2, Detroit 3, Seahawks 4, Rams 5. I'm taking Seattle off, despite how great they were last night. I'm putting on Philadelphia. Smalls, you're 1 on, 1 off. You're taking. You put the Niners in or no? We'll get yours coming up as well.
I would probably take the Seahawks off, and I know that they lost last night, but put the Bucks in.
Man,
Okay,
y'all
very
gonna
fair.
stop disrespecting
888-SAY-ESPN,
the Seahawks.
888-729-3776. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
The NFL on ESPN Radio.